I wanted to pursue journalism because I felt that it was very cliche, but I felt it was a noble profession. I still believe that it's a noble profession, irrespective of what everybody else thinks about us in the country. So this story was actually set in the first wave of COVID, and at that point, Dharavi had become a sort of hot spot for the spread of COVID, and the government was scrambling really to try and control the spread because of the density with which people live in Dharavi. And it was just such a massive problem at a time when none of us fully understood what COVID could do. And at that point, social distancing was not working in Dharavi, and the government had to find a new way, to sort of figure out how to save Dharavi. There was no other way to say it. So we started making calls to find out what they were doing between the police and the municipal corporation and the state government and the hospitals and the ambulances and the health workers. Everybody was working together to understand what sort of plan was being used, and we spent many days going through Dharavi at this point, following the health workers, following the police, to try and find out how they were attempting to control COVID. So obviously there was a lockdown. That was the biggest challenge, getting people to talk to us, and everybody was afraid, quite honestly, at that time of being portrayed badly in the media, even though everybody was on the ground working. So there were private sector, people doing testing. There was government doing, social distancing and quarantining of people. The police were out trying to control people coming out onto the streets. So there was a reluctance to talk to anybody from the media because they were worried that they would get portrayed badly and there would be some backlash. So to just get the real picture out and to get everybody to sort of talk to us, I think was a big challenge at that time. And of course our own safety, because in the first wave, everybody was really scared, and so we had to take precautions but still go out and do our work.
I was the producer, I was also the editor and also the videographer for the story. This was the time when we also didn't know what exactly was happening with COVID and everything else. So we went out to shoot without, I didn't tell my parents when we went out to shoot the story. And there's something that we've been working on for quite some time now, which is macro video. So we shot this whole thing on an iPhone with a selfie stick for a mic. The only thing that we wanted to do was to get on ground and then tell as clearer and as factual a story as possible. And I think that's what we did.
The compassion and the pressure on healthcare workers, we had, people break down on camera, cry, the pressure that was being put on their own families because they were out working, they couldn't go back home to their families. There were people who both parents were out, either testing or nursing, and so children, there was nobody to look after the children. So we sort of encountered that firsthand, and we had not fully calculated that when we went out. That was new, it was unexpected. I wanted to pursue journalism because I felt that it was very cliche, but I felt it was a noble profession. I still believe that it's a noble profession, irrespective of what everybody else thinks about us in the country. I believe that journalists can change the world. And I would love for all young journalists and students who are studying journalism to also believe that you can change the world, because that's the only way to do this job.
I got into journalism because of people like Faye and Sandhya Ravishankar, and then a few other people who have been my mentors since I was very young. And I'm not that experienced or old enough to advise younger people, but I still feel that it's a very noble profession, and then we should continue to do it.